I've been told by Tar Heel people that I have this wrong. It's not about last year. It's about a larger issue that's faced North Carolina basketball the last couple of years. Something that North Carolina basketball has lacked.
Yeah. Yes.
And you and I were texting about this yesterday when I said, hey, what time are you coming in? XYZ. And you said, yeah, this team just has that BDE.
Okay. But I can explain.
Please
Maybe
explain.
That's not the best way of putting it.
Explain the UNC BDE.
Specifically, it's a thing that they've lacked, I would argue, for the last, if you want to say, like 5 years, right? Give or take.
Sure.
They've kind of lacked that. And what that is, to me, maybe that's not the right word. Maybe it's, I've heard somebody say about, like, Harrison Ingram's game, which I thought was a perfect way of describing it. He has some fuck you to it. Mm-hmm. And this Carolina team has some fuck you to it. And they have not had that in a little bit here. And I think that is, like, this team is flawed. It's going to have its issues.
Of course.
It's going to lose games here and there, but, like, they will fight. And that is not, I mean, what sticks out to me, for instance, is, like, when Carolina played Kentucky in Vegas, a couple years, was it 2 years ago now? I think it was 2 years ago. They just got, they got punked.
Hubert's
like, I saw
year.
it. Yeah. They got punked in that game. They were intimidated. They backed down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it wasn't the first time. It wasn't the last time we would see that out of them, right? And now this team, they may play badly for some stretches and whatever, but they fight. They continue to fight. They stick in games even when they're not playing well. Do they always make the perfect decision? No, not necessarily. But they'll get a little nasty. They don't back down easily. And you see teams testing them because that was their rep, is that they're going to back down if you rough them up a little bit. And this Carolina team is here to say, no, absolutely not.
Well, we'll find out very soon. Not that their schedule hasn't been amazing,
right.
But what the litmus test for that is when Pitt gets here on January 2nd.
Their nemesis.
Or they go there, January 2nd. But still, that's the game where you're like, oh.
Yeah, that's been their nemesis.
You got the Cable brothers telling you you're soft.
For sure.
Right?
Okay. Yeah, there's definitely an element there for sure. But, like, Tennessee was the team that I thought was a big barometer for them. Like, and you could tell Tennessee thought they would come in there and get kind of physical with them, and they would back down. And then Carolina was like, no, we'll give it to you as good as you're giving it to us. And so I think that is kind of what what an element that this team has that it's lacked in recent years. And I think that, plus having an elite passer, which is something Carolina hasn't had a passer like Cadeau in quite some time. You've heard me complain about the fact that they have had no really, like, the last great passer, or, like, good, even, like, very good passer they have had is Theo Pinson. Like, full stop. That was the last one. And then the last, like, elite point guard passer was Kendall Marshall.
Yeah, Marshall was the last elite level guy that they had.
As a pure passer.
As a pure passer.
That's what I mean.
I think, again, because people get caught up in new, it's interesting that we're having this conversation, and for basketball fans of a certain age, these names will roll off the tongue. I think for younger fans, they're looking for the next Kobe White. That's the thing.
Well, except he's not a scorer.
Right.
And they don't need that.
They don't need that.
They don't need that from this team. And by the way, if you want the next, I mean, I'm not saying RJ Davis is Kobe White. I'm not saying that, but he is clearly a lot more comfortable in his role right now. It actually has made me wonder a little bit, like, on behalf of a guy like Caleb Love, like, how much would he be playing differently if he had a dude that was, like, setting him up as well as Cadeau is capable of setting everybody up. And the ball just moves so much more fluidly now. It doesn't really get stuck as often as you saw it get stuck last year. They have guys that move without the basketball, like Harrison Ingram. Cormac Ryan has been fantastic. They sped their game
up, too.
Yes.
Like, it was just painful at times to watch.
It was brutal.
At times, that's not Carolina.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, it's okay if another team wants to go all full Wisconsin or Virginia, your favorite. But, like, Carolina can't do that.
I don't know why we're even...
Carolina can't do that.
You know enough about offenses. No, they're not. Even, like, it's ridiculous. This is why I can't talk to people who just blindly hate Virginia basketball, because I'm like, because they bring up things like that. And then I'll be like, do you watch Clemson? What do you think of them? And they'll be like, no, not you, but, like, in general.
I'm saying this year.
Not this year specifically, in general, but, like, Clemson basketball, a lot of years. Okay, well, most people will be like, what? What'd Clemson do? It's like, oh, you don't care about them? Why? You care about Virginia because they beat you?
You put some respect on Clemson's name.
I know.
Undefeated.
No, Clemson's playing well this year.
Beat South Carolina
They've got some
last
nice
night.
pieces.
These are things that we've been talking about.
And good for Brad Brownell for not face planting in the non-con. Like, that has been a thing. That has been an issue for
They're
them.
in, baby.
That's been an issue for Clemson in the past, where they face planted in the non-con, hurt everybody else's net.
All they needed was the mighty gemstone from the traveling Bayheim show to get there. Gerard. No, I did think of you. They played Virginia. I mean, we could just sidetrack here. They scored 41 points against Virginia this year in 2023. Then they won a basketball game where they scored 59 in a game that was really important when they beat Texas A&M. It's okay that you love Virginia, but you love like the best version of Virginia. Like those guys are gone.
Right, I love.
Joe Harris is gone.
Here's my thing. I like
the guys who were good are gone.
Again,
That guy.
When
he's
I
gone.
understand what they're doing offensively, and I do, it makes it easier for me to follow and appreciate and enjoy, even if they don't always have the guys to pull it off as beautifully as some of the guys they've had in the past. At least I understand what they're attempting to do and why. You know what I mean? Whereas a lot of teams on offense I watch and I go, why? What are you trying to do here?
They're Iowa. When they don't have the pieces, they're Iowa.
Oh my God.
They're Iowa football. Seriously. No, they want to win with defense.
I mean, it's fine.
They want to like play a low possession.
Right, but
Let's
Iowa,
defend.
they're not bad on offense on purpose. That's
Yeah,
not a
that's
thing.
fair.
It's absolutely not a
That's
thing.
fair.
They have a
Speaking-
plan that they're trying to execute.
Speaking of defense,
You can have a plan. Doesn't mean you're any good at it without any skill.
I do think that the issue with Carolina is size and inconsistency on defense.
That's being kind.
Yeah, I'm going to go with inconsistency on defense. Well,
They can force turnovers.
Because that's the thing in the Florida State game. The turning point in that game was. But again,
I know
the point of that turnaround for Carolina in that game, which is the game that a lot of people pointed to, and again, the motto, in my opinion, for UNC is they would have ... last year.
Right.
They pressed. It created the turnovers. They got their offense going, and it turned things around. I think that's where your BDE point comes into play too, because they weren't gonna we're not gonna lose this damn game.
Yes, they had that moment in that game.
Armando Bacot, I pointed this out on yesterday's show. Yeah, was UConn better than them? Yes. Is UConn a national title contender? Yes. We don't know that about Carolina. But Armando Bacot was not going to get punked in that game. And he took a technical, in my opinion, just to show that he wasn't going to get punked.
I don't know. I don't know if he thought he was going to get one for that, to be
No,
fair.
I think no.
You think he did?
I think he did. I think he was, if I get it, I get it. I don't care.
Well, okay, yeah, that's probably true.
So that's
Either way, it's a good tech, if you want to call it that.